Okay, so today we're gonna do reaction to Double Check Before Buying Used Game Consoles or Game Systems by creepsmcpasta. This will be in the description down below, along with my Twitch, my Twitter, and gaming channel. I'm gonna get nice and toasty warm under my blankets because I'm nice and cold and toast and I want to get nice and toasty. And it's 9:54. Let's listen to a bedtime story. I did a reaction already to Multiverse's Rage. Fun, funny, I loved it. It was hilarious. Those clips are great. And go follow my Twitch, link in the description for my live streams on Friday at like 12:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be tackling Spider-Man Miles Morales. And maybe some Overwatch 2 one of these days. I do not know yet. But I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and let's begin. creepsmcpasta channel is going to be in the description along with this video, so look in the description for that. 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, I missed it. Now.
Being a single 38-year-old father of...
Okay, I am sorry. I had to turn subtitles on because I cannot hear a single thing. Now, let's begin.
Being a single 38-year-old father of a 13-year-old is quite the challenge, but my son, Jared, has made it far too easy for me. He was the poster child of a good child. He never got into any trouble, excelled in every subject in school, and had a passion for the classical guitar. Of course, just like any other kid, he would do something wrong, but he was always honest with me. He would tell me what he did, and he would always seem legitimately sorry for his actions.
I know there's no footage of the character, the kid and dad, but I'm guessing that's supposed to represent Jared, and the guy at the beginning is supposed to represent the father. At least that's what I'm getting at.
That is why I was browsing through Craigslist,
Like that, that's probably supposed to represent the dad or something like that. It's probably just stock footage.
looking for an Xbox One. I knew he wanted one, but it was far too expensive for me to buy. I could barely keep up with the bills, but I checked for a decent deal every night before I went to bed.
Okay.
4 days ago, I came across a new ad placed for an Xbox One with 4 games for just $75. When I clicked on the ad, I saw that an enraged mother was selling her son's game system because he failed in all of his classes. After checking the time and seeing that it was 8:30 p.m, I called the number that was on the bottom of the post. 10 minutes later, we agreed to meet at my house at 10 a.m. the next day to make the transaction. Before she hung up the phone, she said, "I just want you to know something. My son, he's a smart kid, and he is a really good boy, but ever since he got that stupid system, he started getting obsessed over a game. I don't really know which one, but just monitor your son." I hung up the phone with an uneasy feeling, but I knew that my son was different. He deserved it.
If I had a kid that was just like this guy's kid, just being the nicest person ever, and breaking some bags and him being "Sorry, Dad, I love you, man." I'd get him a games console too, man. I have multiple in this house.
When my son came home from school, he screamed out in joy when he saw me hooking up his new Xbox to the TV. He ran up and gave me a hug and sat right next to me while I connected the HDMI cable to the system. I handed the controller to Jared and he started looking through the games. Once he picked out some sort of car racing game, I got up and started getting dinner ready. By the time I put together
I just realized there's sound effects in this.
the last chicken taco, I
think
turned
I
around
can't hear. Hold on.
car racing game. I got up and started getting dinner ready. by the time I put together the last
No, I could have sworn there was. I don't know.
chicken taco, I turned around to call out to Jared to come in, but I saw he was already sitting on his chair. The whole entire meal, Jared thanked me for getting him the Xbox and about how his first couple races went. When we finished dinner, he got up and walked into his room. After I cleared out the dishes and washed them, I walked upstairs to my room.
Wait, I definitely heard something there. There are
And
sound
when I
effects.
passed by his room, I checked in and saw that he was closing up his school notebook and picking up his guitar. I had to get up early for a meeting the next morning, so I fell asleep as soon as I walked into the room to the sound of my son strumming out for Elise.
How old's the kid? Like, how old is he supposed to be? I'm gonna say, like, I don't know, maybe 16?
The next couple of days went by smoothly. My son would come home, play on the Xbox for about an hour or two, eat dinner with me, and then do his homework and practice his guitar before going to bed. 2 days ago, everything changed. My son looked through his games, but after a couple of seconds, he started going through the menu of the Xbox. I told myself to make sure I had some new games before next week. I made chicken soup that night, but when I was done making it, my son was not sitting in front of the dinner table like he always was.
Where was he?
After I called out to him about 3 times without a response, I walked out of the kitchen and into the living room. He was completely fixated on a game I hadn't seen him play before. It was just a yellow ball on the far right corner of the screen. There were smaller, grey balls flying towards the yellow ball that I guess you try to avoid.
Heck is this? I think what? I think my phone was trying to hurt me. It's a phone, man. My phone doesn't try to hurt me.
I tapped on Jared's shoulder, but he ignored me and kept playing the game. He never did this before, so I just took his dinner out to the living room and placed it next to him. I told him to eat it whenever he felt like it. I never really worried about him. He always did the right thing. The next day was Saturday too, so I decided to let him play the game for as long as he wanted. After I finished my dinner, I gave Jared a kiss on the forehead and walked to my room. I was used to falling asleep to the sound of his music, but the fast-paced rhythmic tapping on his controller slowly guided me to sleep. I woke up at 5 a.m. yesterday morning. The first thing I noticed was that I could still hear the sound of tapping. The second thing I noticed was that the tapping was completely in rhythm. Not a single tap was out of the beat that filled the otherwise silent house. I got out of bed and walked downstairs.
Is this man still playing?
Jared was still sitting in front of the TV. I tapped him several times, but he did not take his eyes off of the screen.
The dedication in this man. He's leveling up his battle pass.
I looked him in the eyes to get his attention, but the glazed look in his eyes made me start to panic. His eyes were a solid green. It wasn't the lighting or anything on the screen. His eyes were solid green. Without any hesitation, I grabbed the controller out of his hands and started to drag him to his room. He screamed and tried to get out of my grip, but I didn't loosen my grip until he was in his room. Through his tears and his screaming, he crawled to his bed and fell asleep. Curious, I went downstairs and picked up the controller. It was on the start menu, so I just clicked on the option that said Start New Game. I played it one time. Just once. But it is taking all of my willpower to not play again.
Oh boy. This game is demented. Demented, is that the right word? Am I saying like demonic? I don't know.
I know it's not good. It's called Desires Unknown. If you happen to come across the game, please do not play it. It has taken up,
Bro, Desires Unknown. I'm going to look that up.
almost all of my thoughts. What does the game do? When you start the game, you are the dot on the far right side. Not just a pixelated version of you. No, a real-life version of you.
Oh, that's creepy.
The grey dots that fly towards you. Everything that you ever wanted. The first couple of dots were my favourite foods. Lasagna, steak, roast beef and spaghetti.
Dude, lasagna, steak, beef, and spaghetti. Dude, I love those. Oh, dude, you're gonna make me hungry.
But as the dots progressed, it soon became my son graduating from an Ivy League college. My wife surviving past the first 3 hours of Jared's birth. And the promotion that would allow me to spend more time with Jared without having to worry about finances. It took me everything to avoid all of the temptations. But I'm afraid to play again. I'm afraid to find out what happens if you fall for any of the temptations.
Weird. Okay, so the original video is going to be in the description. That's a really good story. Is it over? Yeah, it's over. The best creepypastas of 2017. Okay. Here's a link in the description down below with Creepypasta channel. Go check them out. Ooh. Disney creepypasta? Ooh, I barely see any Disney creepypastas anymore. Cool. So yeah, my Twitch and Twitter is gonna be in the description down below, along with Creepypasta's channel and his. And this video that we're watching right now, this will be in the description as well. Go check this dude out. He's amazing. He does really good stories. And you're gonna see you guys in the next video. Guys, that's it. Have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later.